Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe. This channel explores the hidden side of power, how control hides behind emotion, and how freedom begins with awareness. If you find truth here, stay. Listen, because knowledge is protection, and silence is power. Machiavelli once wrote, "People will forgive death by the sword, but never defeat by weakness." But today, power looks different. It doesn't wear a crown. It doesn't sit on a throne. It hides behind trembling hands, behind quiet voices that whisper, "I'm not okay." The new rulers don't conquer nations. They conquer perception. The gaslighter is a new kind of prince. His weapon is pity. His strategy, to appeal to the conscience of those still capable of feeling. He doesn't destroy with strength. He destroys with guilt. He makes you apologize for being hurt. He teaches you to doubt your own reality. If Machiavelli once taught how to rule empires, the gaslighter teaches how to rule the soul of one person. And that's what this journey is about, seeing the game behind kindness, the strategy behind emotion, the design behind chaos. Because when you see it, you can no longer be played. When you understand it, you stop reacting. And when you stop reacting, you become untouchable. Welcome to the art of power. Let's begin. In a world ruled by perception, truth is no longer power. Image is. People rarely see who you are. They see what they want to believe. And once they decide what you are, facts no longer matter. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you truly are." He wasn't warning you. He was preparing you. You can be wise, but if you look uncertain, they'll doubt you. You can be strong, but if you look soft, they'll test you. In this world, appearance is defense. So craft it, shape it like armor. Let your image speak before you do, not to deceive, but to protect. Never show your entire hand. Never let them see the full map of your emotions. If they can predict you, they can control you. If they can read you, they can use you. You don't owe anyone access to your depth. Your calm is your camouflage. Your silence, your shield. The wolf doesn't roar before it moves. It waits. It watches. It strikes in stillness. Be that stillness. Be that quiet danger. Let them underestimate you, because underestimation is the most effective disguise in existence. When they think they've figured you out, you're already 3 moves ahead. And here's the secret. You don't have to correct their opinion. You don't have to explain your choices. Let them gossip. Let them judge. Their noise becomes your smoke screen. The loud demand to be seen. The powerful control what is seen. Be unreadable. Be deliberate. Every word, every gesture, every silence should serve a purpose. Because power isn't just in what you show. It's in what you hide. Appear simple. Think complex. Move quietly. Build relentlessly. The less they understand you, the safer your power becomes. Control your image. Because in this world, your reflection speaks long before your truth ever has a chance. In a world ruled by perception, truth is no longer power. Image is. People rarely see who you are. They see what they want to believe. And once they decide what you are, facts no longer matter. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you truly are." He wasn't warning you. He was preparing you. You can be wise, but if you look uncertain, they'll doubt you. You can be strong, but if you look soft, they'll test you. In this world, appearance is defense. So craft it, shape it like armor. Let your image speak before you do, not to deceive, but to protect. Never show your entire hand. Never let them see the full map of your emotions. If they can predict you, they can control you. If they can read you, they can use you. You don't owe anyone access to your depth. Your calm is your camouflage. Your silence, your shield. The wolf doesn't roar before it moves. It waits. It watches. It strikes in stillness. Be that stillness. Be that quiet danger. Let them underestimate you, because underestimation is the most effective disguise in existence. When they think they've figured you out, you're already 3 moves ahead. And here's the secret. You don't have to correct their opinion. You don't have to explain your choices. Let them gossip. Let them judge. Their noise becomes your smokescreen. The loud demand to be seen. The powerful control what is seen. Be unreadable. Be deliberate. Every word, every gesture, every silence should serve a purpose. Because power isn't just in what you show, it's in what you hide. Appear simple. Think complex. Move quietly. Build relentlessly. The less they understand you, the safer your power becomes. Control your image. Because in this world, your reflection speaks long before your truth ever has a chance. Loyalty feels noble. It sounds pure. But in a world built on convenience, loyalty expires the moment it's no longer useful. People are loyal to their needs, not to you. When those needs change, so will their allegiance. That's not betrayal. That's nature. Machiavelli warned us. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Meaning, people will keep their word only while it benefits them. So stop chasing loyalty. Start building leverage. Leverage doesn't depend on emotion. It depends on power. It's the ability to make leaving you costly and staying near you valuable. You don't beg people to stay. You build something they can't afford to lose. That's how influence works. Quietly, logically, permanently. Know what people want. Know what they fear. Know what they can't replace. Then design your relationships around that. You can still be kind, but never without boundaries. You can still be generous, but never without strategy. Because friendship without awareness is surrender. Trust without limits is exposure. Give loyalty only where it's earned repeatedly. And even then, keep options open. Power is never in attachment. It's in alternatives. When you have choices, you can't be controlled. When they don't, they follow. That's leverage. It isn't loud. It isn't cruel. It's quiet certainty. It's the unspoken understanding that you hold keys they don't want you to turn. So remember, loyalty is temporary, leverage is permanent. And the strongest bond is not trust. It's mutual dependence designed with awareness. If they can trigger you, they can control you. The moment you react from emotion, you hand them the script. They decide the rhythm, and you just follow the scene. Machiavelli wrote, "Whoever is the cause of another's becoming powerful ruins himself." Emotion is that cause. It empowers the wrong people. Anger, fear, guilt, they all feel alive, but they make you predictable. And predictable minds are the easiest to manipulate. So learn the art of pause, the discipline of silence. Because silence isn't absence, it's observation. Strategy begins the moment you stop explaining. Every insult, every accusation is data. They reveal themselves every time they try to provoke you. When someone shouts, listen to the insecurity behind it. When someone flatters you, look for the angle hidden inside their smile. People speak more truth when they're emotional than when they're calm. So stay calm, always. Control the temperature of the room by controlling your own. If they burn, stay cool. If they panic, slow your breath. If they threaten, look bored. Because the calm one always holds the power. The one who doesn't flinch controls the outcome. Don't confuse stillness with weakness. Stillness is focus. Stillness is control. Stillness is strategy. The loud fight battles. The quiet one wins them. So from now on, before you react, pause. Before you defend yourself, wait. Before you explain, decide if they deserve an explanation at all. Every second of restraint is a weapon sharpening itself. Master that, and no one will ever play you again. Because the world belongs not to those who feel the most, but to those who can feel everything and still remain unmoved. Power doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for approval. It arrives through those who stopped waiting. The world doesn't reward patience. It rewards certainty. People don't follow kindness. They follow conviction. You've been told to stay humble, to wait your turn, to prove your worth. But in a world built on dominance, the quiet and the hesitant become invisible. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." He didn't mean cruelty. He meant presence. He meant that being liked is optional, but being respected is survival. You don't get respect by asking for it. You claim it by embodying it. Through consistency, through restraint, through the quiet force of self-command. Power doesn't need to shout. It simply doesn't flinch. When you speak, mean it. When you act, finish it. When you decide, don't explain. Because every time you justify your actions, you teach people to question them. Don't wait to be invited to the table. Flip the table, build your own, and make them watch. True power isn't about dominance. It's about presence. It's the energy that bends the room before you speak. You don't gain control by shouting louder. You gain it by being the only one who doesn't need to. The calmest person in chaos is always the one in charge. And if you ever doubt your strength, remember this: weakness is not being kind. Weakness is allowing others to decide when you can be strong. Power is not cruelty. It's clarity. It's knowing your value and refusing to negotiate it. So take what's yours, not with rage, but with reason. Not with noise, but with precision. Because in the end, power isn't granted. It's recognized by those brave enough to claim it. The world watches closest when you're wounded, not to help, but to measure. They lean in, pretending to care, while calculating how deep the cut is. Pain, when shown too early, becomes currency. And in this world, currency is never safe. They'll say they understand. They'll say they're here for you. But the moment you reveal too much, your weakness becomes their information. Machiavelli would never say it outright, but he lived it. A ruler cannot afford the luxury of visible pain, because hearts, when displayed, invite knives. You were taught that vulnerability makes you real, but in a world built on advantage, it only makes you readable. So protect your pain. Guard it like a secret, not out of shame, but out of strategy. You can feel deeply and still look unshaken. You can break quietly and still stand tall. That is not hypocrisy. That is control. Cry if you must, but behind closed doors. Scream if you need, but into the wind, not into their waiting silence. Because once the wolves smell blood, they will call it compassion while circling closer. Power and pity cannot coexist. If they pity you, they will not fear you. And if they don't fear you, they will walk all over you while saying they care. This isn't about pretending to be made of stone. It's about deciding who deserves to see you melt. Your pain is sacred. Your silence is armor. And the moment you stop broadcasting your wounds, you become untouchable. Let the world think you're fine. Let them assume you've forgotten. They don't deserve to witness your recovery, only your return. Hide your pain, not forever, just until it becomes power. Because once it does, no one can use it against you again. People are not moved by logic. They are moved by desire. You can prove, warn, explain, and they'll still follow what they want. Because desire is the strongest illusion ever built. Machiavelli said, "Men are driven either by love or by fear." But he lived before desire became currency. Today, people sell their souls for attention, for status, for validation. Understand this, and you own their movement. If you know what someone craves, you never need to force them. Just shape their path toward that craving. They'll walk exactly where you lead them, thinking it was their idea. Desire is a leash made of light. They don't feel it, but it pulls them all the same. Does someone need praise? Give it in doses, small enough to keep them hungry. Do they seek power? Let them feel close to it, but never inside it. Do they crave approval? Offer it through your silence, not your words. Because nothing binds a person like the hope of being seen. Control is not domination, it's design. You don't push people, you build the maze they choose to walk through. The strongest manipulation is invisible. It feels like freedom while quietly redirecting the soul. You don't need to lie. Just understand what truth they want to hear and give it shape. Desire does the rest. Remember this: those who control fear can rule for a moment. Those who control desire rule forever. Because when you become the source of what they crave, you don't have to command. They volunteer their obedience. Desire isn't evil, it's neutral. But in the hands of the aware, it becomes the quietest form of power. Power isn't taken in one strike. It's reclaimed quietly, piece by piece. Every time you stop explaining, every time you choose silence over reaction. You once believed that goodness protects you, that honesty guarantees safety, that loyalty earns loyalty in return. But the world doesn't reward purity. It studies it, uses it, and sells it back to you as guilt. You've learned now. You've seen how kindness becomes leverage in the wrong hands, how empathy without boundaries turns into chains, and how silence, the weapon once used against you, has become your shield. The moment you stopped reacting, their power ended. The moment you stopped needing to be understood, you became free. You no longer seek revenge. You no longer seek closure. You simply don't play. They speak, you stay calm. They provoke, you disappear. They rewrite the story, and you stop correcting it. Because truth doesn't need defense. It only needs time. Machiavelli once wrote, "The wise man acts while the fool reacts." And now you understand what he meant. Power isn't domination, it's discipline. It's not about control over others, it's control over yourself. They can no longer wound you because you no longer hand them the knife. They can no longer manipulate your silence because now it belongs to you. You walk away, not as a victim, not as an avenger, but as someone who finally sees the design of the world and chooses peace over participation. No anger, no need to prove, no audience to convince, just clarity, just calm, just freedom. Because true power isn't loud, it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to, it simply is. And in that stillness, you've already won.